Hey crypto peeps, hope you're doing well. Today's date is 29th of November 2023, and as we look at it today, Bitcoin is holding solid here at $38,000 one and change, so not doing too badly, holding its own. And as you know, and this will be reflected in the news we go through today, we are all in a holding pattern waiting for these ETFs. We've missed the deadline now for December, so we're pretty much expecting that we'll get news on the ETFs early in January, unless something else breaks, of course, in the next few weeks. But yeah, I think it's going to be a holding pattern now until January, and then next year is going to go absolutely bonkers. So with that, yes, let's get straight to the news, shall we? Okay, so my first piece of news here today, the paper-based news, is on Cryptopolitan, and Bitcoin's worst kept secret revealed, brace for an epic price shift. This goes on to say here that Bitcoin's price has shown positive movements to the upside, recording a resurgence of the crypto's market price in the past weeks. The fresh levels recorded an 18-month high, and experts predict a rally towards $40,000 mark, and this is imminent. And this is following the pending approvals for the Bitcoin Spot Exchange Traded Funds, or ETFs. It is still confirmed that Bitcoin will display a strong resistance that could barrel the market into an uptrend movement, and this comes from analysis of the market value, which has shown a doubling of its price since November 2022 during the start of the crypto winter. As such, it's possible that 2024 will be a great year for the dominant first-generation blockchain. Now, Dan Morehead, the renowned founder of Pantera Capital, an influential Bitcoin and crypto firm, has shared his predictions, highlighting the worst-kept secret in Bitcoin that could hugely impact the crypto industry. He goes on to say here, as we approach what appears to be the worst-kept secret in blockchain, the launch of a number of spot Bitcoin ETFs, will the news, when it finally does come, be a time to sell? Will someone please remind me the day before the Bitcoin ETF officially launches? I might want to take some chips off the table. He goes on to say here, the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, has been a turbocharger for the Bitcoin price market, especially in June when the firm announced the application of its intended spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, or ETF. The news opened up the Bitcoin market to the United States wealth management industry, which is now worth $48.3 trillion. The BlackRock spot filing fueled a series of rivals from Wall Street giants who also filed their own Bitcoin spot ETF applications. And I believe right now the count is around about 15 of them out there, so keep that in mind as well. Moving ahead here, they also go on to say, it will have a huge positive impact. We strongly believe many spot Bitcoin ETFs will be approved, and we also believe it will happen in a matter of months or two, not years. Additionally, investors' expectations have grown, and Bloomberg has commented on the impact of the SEC's approval of ETFs. The analysis abates that there are a 90% chance of approval of 9 out of the 14 pending filings. The report shows a positive potential for Bitcoin price to peak in 2024 amid approval of any ETFs. So great news there. Have a look at that if that interests you. There's going to be lots talking about these ETFs because essentially that's what's taking up the news at the moment. As I said, we're waiting for this to happen. We're in a holding pattern. It's coming. As with all the news links, check out the links down below to see them in detail. They're all there. Have a look at them. Also, if you get a chance as well, have a look at this. I'll put the link to this in the description. This is my Crypto News Bites magazine that I've collected. And these are all the articles, not just the ones that we show here, but even more than that, all the articles I've collected over the last 3 years. And there's around like 6,000 of them on there as well. So that's another good resource for you. So moving to my next piece of paper-based news here on Finbold. Former NYSE president reveals when many will flood into crypto. Former New York Stock Exchange President Tom Farley is the latest figure in the financial world to discuss the potential impact of a spot Bitcoin ETF approval on the crypto industry. In an interview on CNBC on November 21st, Farley stated that the approval will likely lead to money flooding into the crypto space, noting that people believe in Bitcoin whilst terming it a great invention. He goes on to say here, addressing the significance of Bitcoin, Farley expressed confidence in its status as a non-security, a sentiment echoed by regulators. And he goes on to say here, the thing about Bitcoin that gives me some optimism is that everyone acknowledges Bitcoin is not a security, including the regulators. So possibly the Bitcoin ETF does go ahead more quickly, which would be great for the industry because money will flood into the industry and the Bitcoin ETF is just easy to buy. He goes on to say here, emphasizing the widespread belief of Bitcoin's enduring value, the former NYSE president highlighted its role as a store of value despite its inherent volatility. He went on to say here, people believe in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be here. Bitcoin is a great invention. It just is. It's a store of value. I know it's volatile. It's a store of value. So great information there. As I said, more links down below if you want to check that out in full. They're all coming on board. Next piece of paper-based news we have here is on Bitcoin.com. A Bitcoin whale soars to the 72nd rank in 2 weeks, gathering over 10,000 Bitcoin amid the ETF buzz. This week, observers in the crypto sphere have kept a close eye on a notable Bitcoin whale address, which impressively climbed from the 492nd spot to become the 72nd largest Bitcoin holder in just a fortnight. This substantial addition of over 10,000 Bitcoin occurred amidst widespread speculation about the ETFs, and blockchain data reveals that this Bitcoin wallet labeled BC1QC has rapidly amassed a significant number of Bitcoins in a brief time span. Initially spotted on October 1st, 2023, the wallet made its first move by acquiring 109.81 Bitcoin, and then just after 10 days, it expanded its cache by adding another 736.69 Bitcoin. By the middle of November, this wallet had ascended to become one of the top 500, securing the 492nd rank. Advancing to the present day, this Bitcoin whale wallet now ranks as the 72nd globally. On November 28, 2023, it added to its growing collection with two separate deposits of 163 Bitcoin and 376 Bitcoin. Currently, the wallet's total holdings stand at approximately 10,393 Bitcoin, valued at around about 397 million based on the exchange rates today. So this new whale coincides with a period rife with conjecture and hypothesis, particularly around the possibility of miners selling their Bitcoin to financial institutions that are rolling out spot Bitcoin ETFs. If you know anything about the ETFs, you know that when they put these ETFs out there, BlackRock and the many others, they actually have to own the Bitcoin themselves physically to be able to trade it. So that's where I think these are going, and it's being accumulated over the last year, and we can see the proof of it now. So bear in mind, next year is going to rocket. So moving on to my last paper-based piece of news. As I said, I don't have a huge amount of this at the moment because everyone's in this holding pattern. We're all waiting, but bear with me on this. So this is on Kitco, and this is the crypto market cap could hit 10 trillion as something has changed. And this is an interview with Cathie Wood here. Cathie Wood, we've talked about many times on this, a very influential person in the financial sphere, very knowledgeable and very bullish on Bitcoin. She said this time around, developments related to exchange-traded funds have been credited with ushering in a crypto spring, and it looks as though the eventual approval will be enough to kick off the next bull run market, according to some analysts. She goes on to say, well, something has changed. And this is ARK Invest's CEO, Cathie Wood, during an interview with Yahoo Finance. So we put in a number of times a filing and we were just denied. Never got any questions really, never got any response. This time, this summer, we got questions back from the SEC. Now, normally when you get questions back from the SEC, you're just saying, oh my goodness, we were thrilled to get questions back because it means they are engaged now. Now we've met a number of research people at the SEC on the research side, and they are extremely sophisticated. They know what they're talking about, and the level of sophistication of their questions suggested, okay, now they're moving deeply into this, she said. And we answered those questions, and we have not heard back, and that's a good sign too, because they never tell you that you've satisfied them. She also went on to say something has changed, which is, she said, is a good thing, adding, the odds for approval have gone up. Again, with all this information, there's more down there for you to have a look at. Read it to your heart's content. So with this, we're going to move to some video-based news. My first piece of video-based news here today is on Altcoin Daily. This goes on for 10 minutes. It's Ethereum going to $28,000 after the BlackRock ETF approval. And this is what an expert thinks and how they explain that one to you. The next video I have here is on Coin Bureau, a favorite of mine. This one goes on for nearly 25 minutes. He says they're lying to you about Bitcoin, and here are some facts. So have a look at that. That's very informative. Great channel. Subscribe to those guys. My third video here today is Bloomberg Crypto, a really popular central media channel there, really interesting information. They're really getting into crypto nowadays. This one goes on for 23 minutes. Check that out. It's got just general market information and news, so that's good all round. My final video here today, again, is on Coin Bureau. This goes on for 52 minutes. This is about Binance, PEEF, the next 100x crypto, XRP, Monero, much more. And they're answering questions for an hour there from people that sent in questions. So really informative, lots of, basic information to get you going. So that's pretty much it this week. Well done. Keep an eye on what's going on out there. Click those buttons down there. Click the share, the subscribe, the comment button. That helps us out immensely. Check us out on futureforecastinggroup.com. Have a safe week out there. Do your research. Namaste, and we'll see you next week.